Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today's case is a wild one. What started as a simple visit to pick up belongings somehow spiraled into a violent confrontation with armed robbery charges. The defendant, along with the male accomplice, allegedly dragged her ex into the hallway and beat him with broomsticks and even a shower rod, leaving him hospitalized for 2 weeks. Let's watch as the court tries to make sense of how a reconciliation spiraled into chaos.
All right. Good morning, Ms. Berry. Calling case number 240-599-301, People of St. Michigan versus Audrey Berry. Counsel.
Jennifer Douglas for the people, P72748.
Jessica Shiva on behalf of Ms. Berry, who waives formal reading, understands her constitutional rights, and stands veto.
Thank you, counsel. The court notes formal reading has been waived. Enters a not guilty plea on your client's behalf. I'll hear arguments as to bond.
Your Honor, Ms. Berry, the people are asking for a remand pursuant to MCR 6.106B1B in that she's charged with armed robbery. Your Honor, we believe that Ms. Berry poses a danger to this complaining witness. Here we have the allegation that this complaining witness opens the door thinking Ms. Berry is just coming to get some items when he begins to be attacked. She allegedly, after he is punched in the face by a male she has with her, pulls him into the hallway where he is then punched more. She and this male allegedly get metal rods, a broom handle, and a shower rod, and beat him until he starts to lose consciousness and is able to, by crawling to a neighboring door, get help. There's a third male who is alleged to be with her, who goes in the apartment and takes this complaining witness's personal items, his ID, his birth certificate, his social security number, card, items of that nature, Your Honor. This is a complaining witness who knows where he lives. This is a defendant who knows where the complaining witness lives. There's 2 accomplices who are still at large, Your Honor. And based on the APA note in the file, this complaining witness, as of this morning, was still in the hospital. The report does indicate that police went to go see him, that that complaining witness was in the hospital needing to see a bone specialist due to the injuries he sustained. Your Honor, there are serious injuries that were suffered here for someone to be in the hospital for that long. This is the date of offense going back to October 4th. So, Your Honor, we do think this is something where someone was very grievously injured. And given that there's 2 accomplices still at large, that the defendant could, in concert, do something again to this complaining witness, we do have concerns. For these reasons, I am asking for a remand in this case.
Thank you. Defense.
Your Honor, what's concerning to us is that a remand is being asked on a case where, if you look at it, we see this unknown, unidentified suspects, the ones that are allegedly punching the complaining witness and injuring him, and yet the complaining witness can't identify him, describe him, doesn't know him, and yet the only person charged here is my client. Now, my client indicates that the complaining witness is a man who's been beating her for the past 5 years. My client indicated that she left Michigan after the last domestic violence incident because her family told her it's best to move to Alabama, be away from this person, and for her safety. She has no prior criminal history, not on probation or parole, nothing pending. Now, we asked her, why would you go back to the same place after basically running away from this person, and unfortunately, she is a victim, so we know what kind of mental stuff and emotional stuff can go there. She said that she went there to see if he changed and that she wanted to make amends. And he did not, as we could see, Your Honor. So instead, he accuses her of this. She's being charged with armed robbery. I didn't see anything where my client is using a weapon. There's weapons. There's not enough in this report to charge like this, Your Honor. And the neighbor says he doesn't witness anything. There are no witnesses to this. The neighbor says he hears the complainant bang on his door and ask him to call the cops. And there's no prior criminal history whatsoever on her part. She's not on probation or parole, nothing pending. She suffers from depression, anxiety, PTSD. She needs her medication. She understands she cannot go back to that to that address whatsoever. So respectfully asking the court to consider a reasonable bond here, Your Honor, which I believe is a personal, although it's charged as armed robbery. But what we have in the report, and really her being the only one that's charged when there's these other males allegedly punching, she's a 33-year-old woman victim, and the complaining witness is the 59-year-old man. We'll get to, she'll have her day in court, but respectfully asking the court to consider a reasonable bond here.
And Your Honor, I would just point out that the report does indicate that this defendant had one of the metal poles, whether it was the broom handle or the shower rod. It's not clear, but it's one of those, and she allegedly was beating him with that. And this man did not beat himself into the hospital for 2 weeks. So, Your Honor, that's what I want to add.
Right. Do you have records, case numbers, anything like that of prior domestic violence incidents between these parties?
I do not, Your Honor.
I mean, I've got a person who is beaten to the point that he requires a bone specialist to treat him at the hospital, and he's still there. I have allegations that this defendant, who was known to him, was part of beating him, pulling him out of the apartment, etc. He's hospitalized. And yes, the other people are not identified yet because he doesn't know who they are. But somebody does. And likely the person sitting in front of me does. Whether or not she chooses to say who they are, that's up to her. But, this, I do think, represents a dangerousness to the community. I will set a cash bond in the amount of $100,000 cash surety. GPS house arrest if she's able to make the bond. No contact with the complainant, meaning no verbal contact, no written contact, no contact through third parties or social media. Any attempt at contact would be considered a violation of the conditions of the bond. Next court dates are going to be October 24th for probable cause conference, October 31st for preliminary examination, and October the 21st for bond review in front of McConaughey. All right, the latter two dates in front of Judge Sabri. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much for a calm reunion. They went from let's make amends to let's turn this hallway into a battleground real fast. I'm not sure what the game plan was, but it definitely wasn't about picking up belongings. Sending her ex to the hospital, and now robbery charges hanging in the balance. I'm guessing she'll need more than a broomstick to clean up this mess. The real question now is, will the court see this as a momentary lapse in judgment, or does she deserve some serious time behind bars? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more gripping courtroom moments. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.